Hello, everybody. We're back. Gillette Tea Time, episode 3. Yeah, I'm representing my girl Summer. Still over it. The album came out this Friday. Well, last Friday, I'm sorry. And it was just like eating it for me. So if it was eating it for you, we'll talk about Summer later. And I also have something like to share with you all. But welcome, everybody. I'm about to bring up my cast. You know how we do it over here at Tea Time. Please share the live and just have a good time. Bringing up my people.
Hey, hey, hey.
Ooh,
I'm
we
gonna
got
drop that.
Jada
I'll be right
here.
back.
We got
Hey
Jada
y'all.
here tonight.
I'm over here.
What's
I
really
love
going
this.
on, everybody? How y'all feeling?
Hey.
Feeling good. Feeling great.
Y'all look
Feeling
dry.
great.
Y'all
We
weekend was
look
We are
dry.
finally live and in
I
Technicolor,
thought we
right?
looked nice. No?
good. I'm loving the background.
Thank you. This is my little like Mariah Carey space. This is where I come to like chill.
Very
Oh,
Mariah Carey.
okay,
Oh,
well,
it's giving Mariah Carey in there.
You see my Grammys? Oh wait, my Grammys. On the piano.
so Gunna, what's been going on? How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. Went to Virginia, had a blast there. Saw the people, saw the ocean, felt the breeze.
Over. Morgan, what was going on with you this weekend?
Nothing. Oh, today's Wednesday.
It's
No shit, I
Wednesday.
don't remember. No shit. It was the weekend.
Unforgettable or
I mean,
forgettable?
I mean, it was forgettable if I forgot, I guess. I'm great. I'll be hot. I'm sorry.
It's fine, honey. It's forgettable. Sasha, how was your weekend, baby?
Oh, my weekend I was over it. Yes.
Still over it?
Still over it.
Summer didn't get you
Yes.
through?
Reciprocate got me through. Closure got me through. You Don't Know Me got me through. I was so inspired that I did my own little promotional cover. But we'll get into that later on.
All right.
See everyone. Happy
Good.
Wednesday.
Happy Hump Day. Happy Wednesday. Good to see you too. We got our girl here tonight. She's up. Hold, let me, Jada, hold up. What happened?
Hmm.
There we go.
Really calm and collected. No technical difficulties.
That's all. Jada.
She,
Technical
it
difficulties.
looks like Jada
Howdy,
got her
howdy.
construction done at her house. She has a wonderful house.
Mm-hmm.
She's
That's where we are. We're just smacking it right
Oh,
now. I'm not really over it. I don't know about y'all. Y'all might be in that place in your lives, but I'm not really over it. I'm happy.
Oh,
hmm. She said she is not over it. She's
it's not
actually
being
over it.
over
I'm
it.
Albert.
It's
not.
like
You
still being
have to
over
know
it.
who he
I
is.
love, like I love me some Summer Walker, but I'm just not over it.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Well, I'm over it, under it, and above. I went to VA this weekend. I had a great time. We'll talk about that a little more later. But I want to share something with you all. So you all know that I'm a Summer fan, and of course, Summer here. So Summer sent me a gift, you guys. Well, ladies, I'm sorry. Summer sent me a signed booklet, autograph, and a signed album.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So I just want
Love
to
you,
share that.
Summer.
I just want to share that with y'all.
We still love you, Summer.
I love you too, Summer. But so we're gonna go ahead and get the show kicking off. Me and Gunna said, we both went to VA this weekend. The VA Take Me Back ball happened this weekend, and it was live and in color. The Orichis was there in their green. We also debuted our new overall mother, the legendary Yasmin Exotic Orichi. She's gonna do great things over here for us. So we was in our green, scene in green. Orichis came and did what we had to do. We're gonna, get a little bit more in discussion about the mother, because we on Facebook, and of course everybody probably seen on Facebook. We're going to talk about it a little more, but we're going to bring up a friend to the show, the one and only. He's he got status now, y'all. The icon.
Work status.
Oh,
What's up? What's
Work
up? What's
icon.
up?
ooh, it's not legendary no more. It's what?
The icon.
Oh, so you were gonna share the icon.
Right. We at the same table.
Oh,
A different table. A different
You know,
table.
oh,
Same
what? Oh,
sex and
something like
different
this table.
table.
How y'all doing?
You doing good? How was your weekend?
Oh my God. This weekend was definitely one for the books. From the ball to my house to it all just VA. It was so many people that came to VA. I don't think it's been a minute since we had that many people at a bar in Virginia, like years. So that was a really, really good thing. The weekend was very eventful. I'm
Yeah,
just now
I was lit.
recruiting, like really getting it together.
I must say, I was really, really surprised by the crowd. You guys really brought the people out. Um, Lots of local legends, lots of known ballroom icons and personalities and things of that nature. Kudos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
it was some people deemed and some Hall of Famers in the spot too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trina West was Dean, legendary. Um, Congratulations to her. That's my sister. She been out here for a minute. Ruby, infamous, who she's been out for about the same time as me. She was really, really big in the woman scene. She was deemed legend. Tanya Revlon was deemed legend.
Yes.
Um, Rain Mulan, who actually started the women's scene, the women's ballroom scene, she was deemed legend. Alexis, Gorgeous Gucci was deemed icon. Yeah. And me, I was deemed icon. Congratulations to all of us.
Ooh. Congrats.
Congratulations to Ballroom's first legendary drag performance deemed icon of ballroom.
Yes.
Hmm.
Let's
Amen.
For those
let's
paying attention, for those watching, please pay attention to the way that I worded it so that we will start wording the demons correctly. Again, he's Ballroom's first legendary drag performance deemed ballroom icon.
Icon.
y'all heard
I
it.
like that.
Was there any highlights from the ball?
Um, I really enjoyed my favorite category was VA Take Me Back performance. And that's probably biased because I'm from there. But I was able to see the people who, like I said, I've been out for 22 years, and everybody that came out there was either walking before me or they started when I started. So to see all of them come out there, and it felt good, and it was good to see them all out there on the floor. So that was my highlight of the night. Other than like seeing my house out there and debuting our mother, that was another highlight for me. It was a special moment. I was so fucking nervous. Would I say I was so? Was you
You
nervous,
be shaking
Gillette?
in your boots, honey.
Because I just didn't want nothing to go wrong, and I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be special for her, and I wanted it to be special for us, and I wanted it to be received from ballroom in a way, and I felt like it was, and let's let's start our shit.
Yes. Was there any returns? Anybody that woke it up? I know Trey Songz that came out.
Trey Songz came out, and when he came out, because it was they had to be totally concealed. So I'm like, this boy Vogue like Trey Songz. And then when I found out it was him, I was like, oh shit. He came up to me. He was like, I can't. He say, "Do I get a trophy for soft and cut?" So like that was dope to see him. Congratulations to my girl Pretty Brianna on her position. She's DMV Mother Machiavelli.
Yes,
And
congratulations.
me and Miss Pretty actually started voguing. Every time we see each other, we talk about it. It was this club called the Charlotte's Web, and that's when we started learning how to vogue. And this one time, like everybody used to be in the circle and be voguing. And so one
Pass the
day,
beat.
me and Pretty, we felt comfortable enough to come out there, and we started battling each other, and we looked a fucking mess. But we always laugh about that. And so I'm so happy for her to be out here and doing what she's doing, because for a long time, she felt like ballroom key to her and shit like that. But they can't no more because she's really actually out here in a category, and she's doing what she got to do to make a name for herself. And I love it, and I'm proud of her, and I'm rooting for her.
Can
Congratulations.
we talk about the meat heard around the world or the meat seen around the world?
What's that? Well, before we do that, let's give him his moment. Icon. Let's see your things. Let's see what you gave the girl.
Oh God, no.
The forest green with the lime green was tea, no shade. That was tea.
The color combination was a really good choice.
It
Really good
was.
Thank you.
choice. 10, 10
They
toes on the
argued
board from
me
the Franklin
down.
legend.
It was giving Lucky Charms out the box the green version.
What was that, Sasha?
It was giving Lucky Charms out the box the green version.
Lucky Charm with Converse.
It was giving Lucky Charms out of the box the green version, exclusive edition.
Tens across, tens across.
With the prize in the box, because I missed the times when we were kids and we were looking for the
Oh
prize in
no,
the
the
cereal
prize
box.
definitely came out of the box.
It literally did.
Came out
And
of the
it had to
box.
be there.
And it set the trend for the night for the Orichis because there was another dick revealing a little later that evening.
And it was a wonderful night to really see real icons and not Kool-Aid icons, real genuine icons that I watched as I was a kid, and it was lovely. Yeah, I want to watch it again, just because I get into it.
Not Kool-Aid icons.
Oh yeah.
Chilled or not chilled, because a lot of the girls didn't even give it chilled. They give it boiled water with sugar.
And probably watered down.
Ooh, Jesus.
But no, so congratulations. It was I felt it in my my ballroom spirit that it was happening soon. I think I had just seen you the Monday before, right, at OTA, and I
At
was like,
OTA.
and I said, "Hey, Icon,"
Hmm.
and I didn't even know that this weekend was going to happen, but I had already felt that I actually greeted you as "Hey, Icon." So I've been watching you for a while, and we know we've been discussing different ways in which to change ballroom. You recently did an interview where you discussed coming back to ballroom and how that felt for you and what you wanted to bring this time around. How do you feel now with the platform that you have and the voice that you have and this new up and coming powerhouse that you're guiding? How do you plan, or do you plan to include now your icon status in that platform to be that change that you wanted for ballroom that you speak so eloquently about?
Definitely. Definitely. Like if you notice, I started already at my ball. I put out fentanyl strips on each table because we can't stop nobody from doing anything, but the only thing we can do is make sure that people are safe. So it was a lot of people coming to me like, "What are these? What's this?" And when I was explaining it to them, they was all like, "Oh wow!" And people took them. Hopefully they used them, and because I think stuff like that is very, very important. Um, because we can't control it. So, but I do plan on using my voice and using my status for good. Um, like I said in the post, I've never been the type to fall in line, and now I really don't have to fall in line. So I hope that these other icons that are already out here are ready to fall in line, because if they aren't, then I'm gonna somehow figure out a way where I can expel them from the table or something, because it's no longer a need for that if you aren't going to be for the growth of ballroom. And a lot of the kids that are coming, like for instance, my house is full of people aren't who weren't broken, who weren't who don't know nothing about the struggle, who don't know nothing about any any of that. They just want to be a part of ballroom and just want to be productive and happy. I don't want them to be, and there's so many other kids like that. And I think it's very important for us as not just icons, just legends and leaders and parents. We have to really set an example. And I want to try, I'm not going to want to, I'm going to be an example, and hopefully other people follow. Because I'm going to raise hell. Like, because, yeah, it's crazy. And I had six fights at my ball, but you would never know. It's not the fights that be at balls that really, really, really change the momentum, and it's the judges panels with the bickering, with the arguing, with the shade, with the going back and forth. No shade to Gillette, but because that was the first time that we've ever seen you carry on like that. And I'm gonna say to you, you know, I get it. And I personally, and I don't care how anybody feel, I know I appreciated it, because it comes a point where you have to let people know who you are and stand your ground. And I felt like that's what you did, because we are a new house, and a lot of people will try to play us, and they will try to feel like, oh, but no, you let people know you're not going to play. This is a different for me, and you're not going to play with my house. So I appreciated that, and your kids really really appreciated it. It doesn't matter about the memes and the people saying this and people saying that. Don't nobody give a fuck about that. You did what you were supposed to do as a parent, and I appreciate that. So
Thank you. I was feeling bad.
I
I don't think
know,
you should feel bad. I
but
do.
you definitely, I appreciated it. But like I also told you, I don't think we just
You know, I am
Gillette won't be able
Mr.
to pay her anymore for a
You know, I
while.
am Mr. Advocate, for no violence in ballroom. Um, I appreciate a mother hen protecting her chicks. Number one, we
Hmm.
don't see that a lot in ballroom, as Gillette does represent the feminine side of the house, of the ballroom collective. Um, but yeah, seeing the "I'll fuck you up" and stuff was a little disappointing. Not just because it was for my
Yeah,
sister, so not that I judge her separately, but just because I call out people who I love and who I don't like and stuff like that for violence. Because there has to be a way to where before she got to that point and before the other party got to their point, as leaders, we should have already recognized that something was escalating, or what can we do differently so that we don't have those. Because you know what I'm saying, these types of outbursts start and happen from somewhere. I think that we know that. I don't know if we're going to talk about this later in the segment. I think we are, but it's those type of
I thought
things
that
that
was
we need
planned.
to, curbside a little bit. You thought it was planned?
I
Oh no,
didn't
they
realize
got your
that.
Capricorn side.
I didn't really realize that. I was hearing it, but I thought it was like, because it was an intense moment. It was an Arichi and it was a Revlon. So I was just like, but then I was like, hold on, this is this is kind of. And then about time I realized that I was like, oh, it was like, you know. But no, I'm glad
Yeah. I
that.
mean, because I don't look, I'm not a person that whitewashes our community and says, "Oh, we need to act more civilized or act more like white people." I totally expect in a competitive arena such as ballroom, where a lot of us are practically putting our rent money, our housing, our food money, on the line to come and walk a ball, on top of it being hot, on top of emotions, on top of competition, that, we black. We talk like this and we girl, what's good? So I don't, it's not that she can't or anybody can't be passionate about it. It's just, certain language amongst all of us and certain things we want to be better
Right.
stewards of.
The
But
I fuck you up part because we don't want to have to be fighting in ballroom,
right.
you know.
But her
But
being passionate and him being passionate, I totally expect that, and that it's ballroom should be a safe space where we can feel that passionate about our
and
kids.
not have to fight.
Right.
Yeah. Because passion is a lot of emotions mixed together.
You did something else, Bubs, that I want to say thank you for. In addition to the fentanyl strips, you provided free water on all the tables. About a month ago, would you say, Gillette? I said I was going to start my new campaign.
Mhm.
Hashtag water bottles on tables.
I listened to everything that people were saying. I did the water. That's why I try to have Vogue film and the other performance categories in the beginning of the ball. Like I was trying to do stuff that I was hearing people say, we want this and we need this. That's why I had gender non-conforming head to toe openness because there's a lot of people in the ballroom who may not want to walk a category because they don't want to feel like, oh, I have to put myself in a gender. So I try to do that so that they can come out. And so many people who don't even walk balls have been hitting me up like, thank you for having that category. So I feel like other balls should try to have that. I think I made that up. I don't know. But I never seen it at no ball. I just thought about it. And so
That
it's
was
like I think
iconic of
other
you
people
pulling strings.
say that again.
That was iconic of you for pulling Never Ever's.
Yeah, like so
It's never been
Oh,
done, and
I
you
had
did
removed
it, and
myself,
you
Gillette.
excelled.
I'm sorry.
and it was a dope category. B Hawk walk and Ching Orichi walk.
Yeah.
Ching Orichi won grand prize to my daughter. She's so dope. She's from China, but she lives here. She goes to FIT. She made everything that she walked in and wore to the ball.
Yeah.
Can we all just
Yeah,
take a
bro.
moment and say hello to my mom? She's in the comments, just like saying, "Hey, hey, hey." She's waiting on
Hey,
Hey,
Hi,
mama.
mom.
Mama.
Hey, mom.
Well,
But
Granny.
yeah, but thank you so much, Bugs. You're a friend to the show.
Thank you for having me. I love y'all.
Yes,
And I will be tuning in to hear what y'all talking about while
yes,
I'm
and
getting ready.
please be the icon that we need, please.
The
Please.
icon of change.
Yes,
The
You
icon.
got my full support, brother. I've already
Out
told
here,
you. I'm
Bubs
here
pulling
for
Never
it.
Ever's.
I'm here. I'm
I
here
so
to rattle
appreciate
this
it.
shit. I'm here to
I know it.
rattle the shit. So
Let's go. Love y'all.
love you too. Thanks for coming on. All right, so we just now had the icon Bugs up. VA Take Me Back. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that a little later. But something is happening in LA. So I think Jada has the tea on that. Let's see what's happening in LA.
So, y'all know the coronavirus has been basically changing our lives for the better and the worst. That's no secret. But what do you guys think of Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles, just now mandating vaccines to enter public places like movie theaters, malls, restaurants, bars, and gyms?
Well, I feel like that was gonna happen anyway. They kind of already doing that here a little bit in the New York, New Jersey area. So I already kind of figured that was gonna happen.
But why so late in the game? Why when? Like how many months has New York has this mandate, or every other city, major city has had this update? What was so relaxed about Los Angeles's numbers that they're literally just now putting this mandate onto people?
I mean, I don't think the science really backs a decision one way or the other. You can, as I'm a data engineer, data scientist by trade by day, and you could literally interpret the data either way, whether we should or shouldn't. So I think all the different states were just trying to, play it safe. I think they had made some rash and irrational decisions when the virus first came out. So they just didn't know how to respond. They're trying to gauge the people. Me personally, I don't care for mandates or optional places. I think it's an invasion of my rights as a citizen. It's an invasion of the rights of business owners. I think it's different when it's somewhere that's a forced shared public space, like a school, getting vaccinations to go to schools, or go to federal buildings and things like that. But for me to have a vaccination to go to a movie theater as a free citizen going to a public venue owned by a free citizen, I don't see how that government mandate is fair. It looks a little too, an
Suspicious.
imposition, just an imposition that it's a very slippery slope when the government starts to pull away at autonomy, in that way. So
Well,
I
for
As a
me, I
agree.
live
resident,
in LA. Well, not
I was
LA,
about
but
to say,
Cali.
as a resident of California, we are always late to the party. We will always be late to the party. The only thing we will be on time is in regards to marijuana. Anything else, we will be far years behind. We're always going to miss it every single time. Last year, actually, when we went into a quarantine and under a pandemic officially in March, um, we didn't even in my store, like where I was working at, we weren't even mandatory for people to come into the store and ourselves to wear masks until July. And you want to gag? You know what happened the week before that? My motherfucking manager got COVID, and I said, "Y'all can have a nice one."
Did he get COVID because he got vaccinated, or was this?
No, this was even before the vaccinations was released to everything. This
Oh,
was, but she caught COVID because her husband had caught COVID because her husband like does these like band travel things or whatever, and like he does, I don't know, it was COVID, COVID, and I said, see, COVID, see
cover,
ya.
cover, cover, cover.
Yeah, it was a whole lot of fucking COVID. And I said, I gotta go. No shade. This is why y'all should have listened to me when I said, why are people coming in the store with masks? Oh, I know them. This is such and so. That's my such and such. Okay, well, now y'all have your COVID, bitch. Please. Yeah.
That's your girlfriend now. Your girl, you got girlfriend COVID,
Not girlfriend.
Yeah. Now y'all got COVID as a house. Work. Now
and
who
they
have
probably
COVID
hung
as a
out in
Grand March?
Baltimore because Baltimore got COVID.
Oh,
Yeah, look at the mass
ooh.
still
COVID.
sticking for Baltimore with having COVID. You
Yeah,
can't
someone did say
take my
Baltimore had COVID. Oh, I think that's you. You be saying that. What's
Gonna
your
Is
beef
always
it
with Baltimore
do
COVID?
that.
House
It's
of
been my
19?
campaign. It's been my campaign now for 12 months. Baltimore has COVID. I caught COVID this exact time last year from Baltimore. Yep, Baltimore has COVID.
What were the symptoms giving?
Um,
Oh, it was horrible. I couldn't smell anything. I couldn't taste anything. I couldn't walk. I literally would have to crawl to the bathroom. I couldn't eat. I didn't eat for like 36 hours.
Oh
It
my
was bad.
God.
Sis had to bring me a plate one day, and I literally ate 2 bites and set it on the bed next to me and threw it away 3 days later.
So when you were healed, thank God you were healed, what was your first meal?
My
Because I
first
can't
thing was
imagine what
some.
it's like to not eat a cheeseburger or fry.
Oh no, my first meal was chicken tikka masala, double spicy.
Did you say chicken quesadilla?
Chicken tikka
no, bitch.
masala, Indian food. I love Indian food. I love a lot of spices and Indian food, so I ordered me a chicken tikka masala as soon as I had my taste back, because I wanted that first taste to be just an abundance of flavor, like poof, in your face.
Ooh, did you have a
But
slushy or a
but
soda with
the
that?
worst part was having COVID and then trying to smoke marijuana. Like it tasted like you were smoking stale air. It it
This is
was
Wow.
stale air
weird.
for me.
It was to the
See.
point to where I didn't even want to smoke because it just tasted. It didn't have a taste, but the not having a taste had a taste.
Okay.
Hmm.
It was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, when I get a cold, I don't want to smoke either. So yeah. Mm.
Well, see, I'm different. I need to smoke me a blunt if I'm not feeling well, Jesus.
Speaking
I
of,
literally can't. Like the phlegm, the throat, all of that. I be gagging. Like I don't want it.
And it's only been his grace that I have not caught that bullshit.
Well,
Me
speaking of
neither.
gag, someone gagged today at their trial today, and I think I'm gonna show it.
Oh, I think you should.
my right side,
Flick the pick.
and I was cornered from in front of me with Mr. Zeminski, and there were three people right there.
Take a deep breath, pal.
That's what I. That's what I run.
We're gonna just take it. Time for our break anyway. You can.
From
All right, so
He couldn't
if
get
you all
he
do,
couldn't get A, B, or C out.
you guys may not, for everyone that's tuning in, they may not remember, but Rittenhouse was a 17-year-old that traveled to Kenosha last year, August 25th.
Traveled.
He traveled there. He said he went there with the intent of like protecting businesses from property damage and theft and all of that. He was carrying an AR-15 rifle when he went there, right? So 17 across state lines with an AR-15 said to protect people's businesses. When he was there, he shot three people. He first killed Joseph Rosenbaum, age 36, killed Anthony Huber, age 26, and he injured Gage Grossencruz. He's currently facing 7 charges. So what you saw today was another part of the trial where he pretty much had this breakdown. He's getting a lot of sympathy now. Um, and I really think it's because he's been in prison for about a year now, getting butt fucked, and now he's learned how to cry. Because if you guys remember last year when he was going in, he was really stoic about, he did not seem to be remorseful or anything like that. But this is just another case of criminaling while white in America. How do you guys feel about this breakdown we just witnessed? The antagonizer then crying and becoming the victim.
Oh, do you
White
think it's the
tears.
dick or do you think it's the trauma?
I have
It's the
no.
dick.
It was
It's
just.
the trauma from the dick.
It's no. It's. I have no. It's a truth to me. Like, sir, you did the crime. Get ready for your time.
How
Okay.
do you feel? How do you
Okay.
guys feel about, because this is a touchy subject, right? So, as someone who's pretty much on the forefront of information about prison industrial complex and how we feel about, underage black boys 16, 17 years old being tried as adults and things of that nature. How do you feel when a case like this presents itself, but you also have a moral code that you stand on that maybe 17-year-olds shouldn't go to jail for life or be sentenced to death. But then when you have an act like this of someone who is 17 at the time that he performed his actions, how do you deal with that, on a moral platform type of way?
What were the accusations? Did he rape somebody underage and now he's testifying?
No, no,
No,
no, no. So he shot
it was
and
like
killed. He
5 people.
shot three people, killed two. During last year, during the uprising and everything, when everybody was, the summer of riots last year, after
Okay.
the, yeah. So he went and he was there. He was seen walking with a gun, and literally he shot and killed two people, injured a third, and was still walking with his rifle. And the cops were telling him, "Hey, sir, no, go this way." And the people were running after him like, "Hey, he just shot someone. He just shot some people. He just shot some people." And the cops were like, "Oh, no, no, be quiet. Come on, keep on walking, keep walking."
Oh,
Um,
so okay,
so
so
now
those
he's
nerves,
crying.
yeah. So those nerves are from the trauma from they running through him up in there.
They running through her,
They
and
Running
I
running
through
through
think she's
her.
her.
traumatized.
She's
And
traumatized. She couldn't even get ABC 1 2 3 out.
I hope she can't
and
sleep, bitch.
this is one of those things where, on our very first episode, we discussed transformative and restorative justice and how those two things play out. Um, Restorative justice says, yes, lock his ass up. Transformative justice says, how do we prevent white boys who are conditioned under white supremacy as we are from being 17 and wanting to go out and do these life changing and altering
He didn't know
actions.
no
Because
better.
let's say he knew better, but at that age you know better but don't know better, right? We've all been
Yeah,
17 years old
yeah, we've
and we
all been
did stuff we
17.
knew better, but we look back and we're like, yeah, but I was still dumb and young and easily influenced as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
To know that this 17-year-old kid has done something this traumatic that's going to affect the rest of his life, which I think it should, it
Hmm.
also speaks to something we have to do better in reaching our youth, even when they have parents that are spewing this bullshit to them, right? Because he had to learn this from somewhere, and now
Hmm.
he's literally given up his entire life at 17 because of something that he was conditioned to be, right? He
Yeah.
wasn't born this person. He was conditioned and raised and groomed to be this person by somebody, and now it's impacted the rest of his life. So, you know, no
Wow.
sympathy for him directly as a person, but I sympathize even in a weird kind of way for white kids who are being groomed to
To
be
be,
racist and violent.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start holding these white parents accountable. When these white kids are coming to school and they're peeing on themselves and they're having bad dreams and saying, "Mommy hit me, Daddy hit me, Mommy touched me, Daddy touched me." Hold these parents accountable. Stop saying, "Oh, there's nothing wrong." And y'all be so motherfucking quick to go in the home and take a black kid out of their motherfucking home from what
Okay,
happens in
girl,
their
breaking up
home,
the
but
black
y'all don't go and
families.
take them white motherfucking kids from them white motherfucking parents that's just getting them
Hmm.
fucking up them little motherfucking Billy and little Joe.
Oh, come on, motherfucking Billy and motherfucking Joe
Who's
and
Stop
asking
Sarah.
me
playing on
to
the
do that?
white kids' time because the white kids need to be loved too. No
They
shade.
do.
But the
We
white
all need
parents ain't
love.
shit. That is shit.
Ooh.
And I'm done.
Oh, damn! I want to respond to the comments, but we're not supposed to act like we see the comments, or do we? I don't know. This is my first time with
See,
this new bitch.
well, wait a
It's
minute.
too much, bitch.
Okay, so before
I
we
ain't see
get
nothing,
a
mate.
little
I ain't
deeper,
see nothing.
just keep in mind, I do have a special guest, and he is some masculine energy in here. So we're gonna like talk about this for like 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna bring him up. But yeah, we could
Oh, well, I'm married and
open up
my
on the
baby's dad is
question.
crazy, so
Do
I ain't
your
gonna be trying to
thing.
hit on him.
So I agree with Crystal. And again, when I said how I felt about white kids being groomed, it was never to detract from the restorative justice that must be performed. Right. I'm thinking about, again, I don't know if you saw our first episode when we discussed and broke down the difference between transformative and restorative justice. Restorative justice says, yes, this young man needs to be punished for the lives he took because they need justice served to them. Transformative justice says, how do we change or alter or just adjust to systems so that we prevent issues down the line like this from happening, right? And so again, anybody who Gillette knows, I'm very pro-black. I'm not out here for bleeding white hearts. But I do also have the understanding that all children are born as blank slates, and all of us are conditioned or groomed into something, right? There does become a point where you have to be accountable. That's even us. We have to become accountable, right, at some point. But with that said, at 17 years old, he is still directly under the tutelage of his, people around him, and yes. Now, see, Sade, I would actually agree with that as well.
Yeah,
Because at
I agree
17
as
because
years
we
old,
well.
need to hold everyone
he
accountable, not
made that
just
type of life
That's the
changing
accountability
decision,
we want
and
and
that
need.
decision
we
was
want the
coerced and
accountability.
led and groomed by somebody older than him
Mm-hmm.
whose guidance he was under. So I believe that whoever's got, if it wasn't the parents, if it was an uncle, they need to be pointing blame and saying,
Figure it
no, his
out.
uncle taught him that
Figure it
shit.
out.
Yeah, you
Figure it
going
out.
too. You going too.
Whatever adult was over him, some adult needs to be accountable for that because that's
Fucking
definitely learned
caddy.
behavior.
Yeah.
So
Why is
yeah,
this
so
not
yeah,
even being taken
I
into
did just
like?
want to
Why is
clear
this
that
not
up.
even
That
being taken as?
Hmm?
Sorry, why is it not even being as taken as serious as any other black kid that like I literally know a kid that shot a boy by accident. They were trying to wrestle
Mm-hmm.
over a gun. He didn't even have the gun, and he's been in jail ever since. Why is he
So
even
it's
given
lightly,
the
lightly.
tap on the hand, the tap on the slap on the wrist that lets them know that
it's that white privilege. It's like,
they
well,
do
you
have
guys
that
are.
privilege, that affirms that
You remember
privilege,
a
that
few
affirms
years
that privilege,
ago.
and that's the
Yeah,
toxicness we need to stop.
you remember it was a few years ago when the young white kid went up missing, drove all the way to Mexico or something like that, and basically the judge ruled that he had some made up disease where it's like basically you're spoiled your whole life and you don't get told no. So I forget what it was called. Fuck.
Is that called
Uh,
badass syndrome?
no, but it was basically some psychological thing that they created for this young kid to explain why he doesn't know right from wrong because he's never really been taught. It was some. Why is this mosquito getting in my
Oh,
house?
y'all want a king, Margaret. I know you
No
want a king.
one, Sade said,
Well, it's not spoon fed,
spoon
but no,
fed.
there's actual like they created like a real word for it. I'll have to. I'll come up with it during a break and bring it back. But yeah, it's they just it's whiteness. It's just whiteness. Like at this point, we're not gonna
A,
flip you
psych-
around and call it anything.
Hard head hydroxygen.
a psychologist will call it a dissociative disorder with a side of entitlement.
Oh. So
Yeah.
you just gonna do what the fuck you
Uh-huh.
wanna do.
And a little bit of white crazy. Just a little bit.
Affluenza. That's what it was called. Affluenza.
Affluenza.
Affluenza is a psychological malaise supposedly affecting wealthy people. So basically, you're wealthy, and because of your wealth, you never had to face responsibility. So when you do something, you have now it's like, oh, but he just didn't know he's wealthy.
Oh,
Any relation to
Girl, that is
influenza?
tired.
Google it. It's called
And if
affluenza.
it was a black person, they would
AFFLUENZA.
have hung us, right? See, we don't get no
Yeah,
type
because
of rights like that.
black
When
That's
people
you
some
ain't
call somebody
wealthy.
bullshit.
that, do
That is
you say
some
you
We should
backyard
affluenzic bitch?
bullshit
Like,
right
how do you
there.
use it in a sentence? Because I
you
would
should
love to use that
have
word.
we should have poorfluenza then, bitch, because
Influenza.
we be killing
Yeah.
bitches because
That's
we're
what I'm saying.
poor.
Or my bundle fluenza.
I would love to call someone, you affluenzic motherfucker. Like, how do I, was that good enough?
Well,
I think that
affluenza
was
is a
pretty.
noun. Hold on.
Now I see why they
Mm.
say money is the root of all evil, because that would make somebody rich say some dumbass shit like that. I got too much coins to
Yeah,
have
I
common
got the
fucking sense.
affluenza.
I got
Bitch,
the
please.
affluenza.
Is that
You
yeah, yeah,
apple
it sounds
fucking
like it's out
What
the
did
laugh.
she
window.
say? Affluenza.
Affluenza. She didn't give a fuck.
Mm-mm.
She
Oh
rich.
no, I'm rich. I have no moral responsibilities.
I have no
Oh
common sense.
no. I have no common sense.
Girl,
Oh no.
fuck is you talking about?
Wow.
So you affluenzic at
So what we're
I'm
gonna
trying
do?
to get this.
We're gonna continue this topic. We're gonna bring you more issues about it and see what happens to him. We already kind of know what's gonna happen, but we're just gonna still keep you up with the up to date topic. But I do have a special guest here today. We did say we were gonna speak about the VA Take Me Back. We did say we were going to speak about the behaviors and different things that happen at the VA Take Me Back. And I thought it would only be right, that I would bring the person that I got into the altercation or exchange of words with. I feel like this time in ballroom, we need to start being able to hold ourselves accountable and being able to apologize publicly and showing everyone and other leaders that we're able to apologize to each other and still be able to move and mingle throughout ballroom like it's no problem. So we're using this platform, my platform, as a spot to like display that. And we really sincerely mean what we're about to display, but it needs to be displayed all across the board. Like Bug said, fall in line. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing up the king of VA, the one and only Jeremy Revlon. Oh, you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
We hear you.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, how are you?
I'm doing good. How everything going?
Doing good. Thank you for coming. So, we had touched on the VA Take Me Back, our little spat or whatever. But we really wanted to touch on it a little more and like really get to a conclusion about it. So we have you here. So let's get to it.
Okay, first of all, I do apologize, Gillette. I do. Um, However,
Hmm.
I think it was more so of like the fence side on both parties of each other house. Like some people know sometimes you get real like passionate about it. It caused you to actually get to a level because some people actually thought like we were really like drunk as hell and high off coke on the parent purpose. I'm like, I was very well alerted because I like to know what's going on. But I think it was a passion behind both of us feeling the same way. And my reason for why I did start yelling, and this is why I did apologize, Gillette, because I personally just feel like I've noticed this is a problem with the ballroom itself, that it's not even just with the Virginia situation. Like a lot of times I just started judging, honestly. But one thing that I've witnessed when it comes to like these like overall parents and shit, they try to maneuver the panel with their words. For example, they could be on the side of the panel and someone judges for the house and they see you vote over, the first thing they do is, oh, you trying it on that panel. I see you. And you know, in your mind, you thinking like, girl, the night is just not the night. It's not that I'm trying it. And I watched it several times. So my frustration came was, it was like a 4-4, break the tie. And like you whispered Uncle Mike, like, yeah, her wig just came off. Like, take all that into consideration. So it kind of made me feel like, see, this is the stuff that I'm seeing, that I'm talking about. Because now his mind, he's not paying attention to who vote better now. Now he's thinking about how it's gonna look, him voting for one without a wig, and me being reacting like a faggot, which I shouldn't have. I just went into trying to read Remy Ma, which I publicly apologized because she was actually dope. But I just felt like I had to say something because how I be looking is, me personally, I wouldn't, me and Gillette was sitting on the panel the whole night, like, I even told my house member, like, hey, you were supposed to get chopped. She like, why? Yeah, Gillette pulled up this flyer and showed me this red lip, and your lip was pink as motherfucking her motherfucking sweater. She like, for real? Is that a red lip? I'm like,
Oh
mm-hmm.
my.
So but moral of the story is I apologize for that. But however, that's the issue that I witnessed in ballroom that really blows me. And I get on a lot of the older ones, that the icons that sit on the side and will sit and try to maneuver a new generation panel to vote the way they want to vote because they feel like you're trying their house, or you're voting for your girlfriend, or because we're cool and we talk to each other on the phone that I'm obligated to vote for you. And I think that that's a big problem that we have. And then, guys, people get mad when you get those ones like the R.R. Chanel's and Father Tony's on the panel. But at the same time, the reason why they're respect, because you can't change their thoughts. So, it's kind of frustrating as a new generation judge when you're trying to represent your house and you have people that will sit on the side and will maneuver a judge by just, with their wording, with just their eye contacts, approaching the panels to say something. So that's the part where I'm like, well, when do judges just sit there and let people judge?
Yeah. I totally agree. I do apologize as well because like it was a passionate moment. I was really rooting for my daughter Remy because Remy has been through a lot. It's been through where Remy has been legend and everybody's giving her hell. Oh, she's not legend. She's not this. And then when Remy finally get her plaque, it's still like so much for Remy. And then like from the comment that what was given about her, it's like enough is enough. Mari and myself has really fought so hard for Remy to get the respect that she deserves, and this was her moment. We're not going to let it be tarnished. And I do. I mean, like I said, I do apologize. I apologize to the whole Virginia scene for like causing that uproar with you because that's not the type of person that I am. But I had to like protect my child at that moment because I'm not going to allow someone to just disrespect her, just like you're protecting your child. So we cool because we was cool the whole night. It was just that little heated moment that really took us to what took me to that spot.
Yeah, Jack, because somebody told me that you snatched your earrings off, your
Don't
wigs
give all
off.
that. Don't give all
What you
that. Don't,
said?
we didn't see all that. So don't give all that. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. It gave. I was in the moment. But yeah. But that's anyone has any questions, anything like that. But I apologize.
I want to hear from Gunner.
Oh, I don't really have anything to say. I love seeing, generational leaders actually be able to come forward and apologize and say, hey, this is how we settle problems. Again, Barm is something we're all very passionate about. So I don't expect us to be sitting down like, driving Miss Daisy at balls. But we've seen entire cities turn over an entire downtown area because their hockey team won or lost. You know what I'm saying? So sports is something. This is a sport. This is a sport. So we enjoy it. But I do enjoy seeing y'all apologize. I do want to go into another topic that was on the list because you were also included in it, and just kind of get your feelings about it. And how do you feel that you were photobombed
Yes.
by Mother Red Velvet?
Yeah, I was trying to get your page reported, but they didn't find nothing wrong with community standards. So
Wow. So so hopefully Gillette can pull up one of the pictures or something. I don't know. But for all of you guys that do not know, so this past weekend we had the ball in Virginia. We were all there. Um, and anybody that knows me knows I am a lover yet agitator of realness and the realness boys in particular. I stormed them at balls. I attacked them. I try to get them to argue with each other and all this shit. We just really have this kind of relationship. So this past weekend they took a photo. They took a photo, and I had to step out of the ball because one of my good friends was I needed to help one of my good friends with something that was going on. So I stepped out. So I missed being able to like storm their picture in person. So I happened to be out with Crusher, who's also one of the realness boys, and he has this history of calling the boys he liked red velvet. He loves light skinned red boys. And I've always said I was mother of the red velvets. So we was out, we took pictures in the grocery store, and I was like, wait, hold on, take pictures of me, because you're not about to have these other bitches out here calling themselves red velvet without knowing that I'm mother, right? So then it just kind of all played together, and now it's like this viral thing that's going crazy that people are like laughing about and passing and sharing. It's a full key. Um, I'm gonna continue it. I think it's gonna be something. Maybe I continue to do it with just my realness boys. I've been asked to do it with other people and to do product placement and stuff. Who knows what might grow from it? Like I said, it was just a key. What? Congratulations, the king of
Yeah,
Virginia.
it was his.
Baby, when I tell you, I said I made a post today. I think it was today or yesterday. I said I gotta go to support Virginia for a few more balls because I need Susan to support me the way that she supports y'all. Cause baby, can't nobody say shit about nobody on that Virginia demon list. Who her queen is, who her king is. Susan has been pulling up on the girls. Okay, like no, bitch, he's the king, and if you don't like it, then you gonna have to see about me if you got something to say. I said, well, okay, Susan. So no, congratulations. Again, it was great to just see you guys apologize. That was beautiful for me.
Yeah.
And on another topic, Jada, it was good to see you. I really, really, really am so proud of you, girl. Like I remember watching you grow, from a little teeny girl. And to see you out there now with your kids, you sitting on the panels, you're not being biased. You was very, I watched you the whole night. I just want to give you your roses. Like I'm very, very proud of you. Yeah.
I appreciate that, Jeremy. We really started from the same place. So, watching the both of us come up together. I was actually on the panel looking at you, and I was like, look at us. We have come. This was kind of like a full circle moment to me because I could remember back to the days where we came to Virginia. I think it was for like I can't remember what function that was for, but we were in Virginia and we were both new and we were both young and you was ready to get out there for realness and the twist and I was ready to, do my little cat canoes and, just to see us, like behind the panel and, trying to be fair and trying to be there for our houses was just it was
And
full
to see
circle
what me and
moment.
Gillette was arguing, you was like, "Can you both just stop? Can you both
Well,
just stop?"
honestly, I remember both of y'all, honey. Both of y'all are like little babies to me because I was over there too.
Uh-huh.
Yes, you was. You
Yes, she
did come from where
was.
we came from. Like
Yeah.
that's what's
So
another thing that's so major about that moment to me because there was a lot of people in that room that really saw me from a child, from like 17 years old. And now, my at least my voice is respected. At least my opinion matters. At least, I'm here and I'm still trying to push that. So I was just really honored. So I thank you guys. Thanks. I wanted to thank Will for having me on the panel before he left, but time management. But shout out to Will and shout out to the Orichis. I love you guys. You guys did amazing. That green looked wonderful.
thank you so much.
You did.
And this is what Baldwin's really all about. Look at that. We started out having to apologize about an incident and then finishing up discussing watching a young woman blossom in the community, find her voice, find her place as a leader. And, that's what I've always said Baldwin is really about. It's about transitional leadership, it's about learning life skills, finding a space where your voice can be fostered and heard and grow. so that you can just go out into the world and do great things. So I love you guys.
Thank you, Icon.
I'm high too.
And it was actually nice to see everybody in person because normally we do this like, from our houses or from the studio, and we don't get to like, see and really interact and really get that in person experience. So it was really nice to see. And I think this is like really the first time that like I'm after the we started the show that I've seen Gunna, that we actually had a chance to interact, because I've known you for a while,
Yeah.
but we never really got a chance to interact until now. So I was really, really excited about that. He was in the building with his knitted bonnet,
Period.
mother
But
red
Johnny,
velvet. What's
Well,
up?
and that's why with me, I was more so embarrassed because, like, dead ass, like Jada and Gillette, we all come from the same home. You know what I'm saying? Like, Gillette was kind of more of the bigger sister. She was more, experienced and stuff than me and Jada was. We was kind of like the new babies. But we knew who Gillette was. We knew when she hit the runway that we had to chant and we had to stream. And so moral of the story, after knowing someone for like 9, 10 years and you having your first altercation, and it's all like on a big ass fucking TV stream type, it would kind of make you feel like, like where I felt like I owed her this because we've been knowing each other for so long. But as we indicated at the beginning of the conversation, this is the part where the passionate amongst your home comes into play as well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that I'm able to talk to her because, me being raised by Father Tony is automatically fuck that bitch. I don't got shit else to say to her ever in life.
yes,
But,
yes, yes.
it's more so like, no, I'm going to get up here and I'm going to let her know, like, we had a moment and I promise we will never have that moment again,
Never,
okay?
never. But before you go, I want to know, what was your highlight of the ball? Did you have any highlights?
Me,
Yeah.
I actually didn't. If you want my honest opinion, I kind of felt I was a little over it because I felt like, Gillette, you was beside me, and you should know, like, to crown me king in the middle of my argument. Well, but the middle of my, you come and say, "Here's your crown." I was just a little astonished because, I was supposed to come out with Naisha. They didn't even have her. They gave me her crown. That was the girl crown that I had on my head. So. I couldn't really think of a highlight of the ball because I was so in my bag the whole night, and I shouldn't have been because it was like I had my house there. I had no legends, no icons. It was just my new generation of Revlons. You know what I'm saying? So when they hear that, I'm getting crowned king, they're expecting to see someone crown me king. But you give me the crown and say, "Here, king," and then we just go into the whole altercation of me arguing with my sister, and everything got overpaid about that, and it went straight into. Did you see Jeremy and Gillette? I don't know if you've seen that meme, Gillette, but it got like 345 likes, and it was the whole panel turned around looking at me and you like we were fooled, yo.
I know, I know. That's our moment. That's our moment.
You're not immortalized. It's okay. Oh,
How weird is
somebody
it to
send me
see?
that picture. We might get the Real Velvet mother to storm that picture too.
How weird is it to see a meme blow up and you were the cause of everybody? Like, to know that everybody in that picture was looking at you.
The whole
Like,
ball was fucking gagging.
one for the bucks, truly.
But yeah, like I said, we're here. We apologize. I love you, Jeremy.
I love you too.
Sorry. And we thank you for coming on the show and having tea with us. And we hope to have you back soon so we can get a little bit more information about the King of VA.
Most definitely. I enjoyed you guys.
All right. Thank you so
I'll
much.
definitely be making my way back to Virginia.
Yeah, I'm
Yo,
coming back. Like you know.
you got me scared of Baltimore. When you was in Virginia, you just kept saying, "I don't go to Baltimore. I got COVID. I got COVID."
They got COVID there. Baltimore has COVID. That's true.
It's crazy. All right,
That's a
guys, I
fact.
got to
That's a
get ready to go
fact.
to jail.
All
All
right.
right, boss. All right, man.
So
I just want to say, I just want to go on public record saying yes, Baltimore has COVID. All right, keep going, Gillette.
but also before I go to my next topic, VA was a lot for me. I want to also publicly apologize to someone who is dear to me, TK Lavin. I chopped him, and I chopped him off of some buffoonery bullshit, some but I do totally apologize. I know how hard it is to like work hard on getting your effect. I know the struggle that TK been through. I know like how hard they was on TK, and like how hard they was on TK, they was hard on me as well. So I really want to just be an adult, be the bigger woman that I am, put on my big thongs, my Lizzo thongs, and say I do publicly apologize to you, TK, as well.
It's the Lizzo thongs for me.
It's the Lizzo thong. Yes,
Big girl panties.
big girl panties. So, you already touched your cake box pics or whatever. So I guess whatever realness boy is lucky, he's gonna get a cake box pic, right?
Yeah, so if you want to submit your potential photos, you're a realness boy out there, you one of the niggies, and you want to be touched by the gunzy, because a picture with me lets people know that you one of them ones. Because I only pick on people who are those ones. If you're not a girl that is moving and shaking, I don't pick on you. I only pick on people who I see potential in. So if you think you have the potential, hit up my inbox with a picture. You might be one of the ones that get stormed by the gunzy.
Oh wow! So since we were already on the West Coast, Jada and got two kids. That's that Jaden and Willow. I think some things is going on over there with them. I think Morgan has the more details about that.
Well, apparently, a lot of people do a lot of things with their kids. You guys, they take them to the movies. They have talks with them. They take them to school. And apparently, Jada and Jaden take psychedelics together. Um, I'm gonna get a little bit more into that story.
Wait, what?
Jaden and Jada,
Jaden and Jada Smith.
The
mother
son and the
and
mother take
son.
psychedelics
Yes,
together?
yes, they take
Oh, please give
psychedelics
more.
together. Mm-hmm. You ready? Okay. So apparently they had a red table talk, and the topic surface was my magic mushrooms. I don't know if any of you have tried mushrooms. I don't. I personally have never. A lot of my girlfriends were doing it in high school, and they were tripping, so I paid it. Um, but previously thought of as a dangerous drug, only to be done in secret, despite being popular doing the as Gammy, who is Jada's mother, refers to it woo-woo era. Plant medicine is becoming widely seen as a miracle treatment for mental health. On the latest episode, four guests visit the table to share their personal experience with psychedelics. We don't really care about him. Basically, he was saying is a life changing. He had a life changing psychedelic journey. These are all journalists, and the founder of GoDaddy was also there. And he said that psychedelics help their marriage, and apparently there are risks and benefits of magic mushrooms, mentally and physically.
Now, I've seen some documentaries. I've not tried shrooms myself because something about psychedelics, I fear that if I'm not in a controlled environment, who's to say I don't see something running after me? So I take off running, jump in the street, bitch, you get hit by a car or something,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or like
Mm-hmm.
jump off a cliff because I think I can fly, right? So that's kind of why I
I
don't
agree.
do it. But I do believe that there is more healing power in medicinals that come from Earth, right? Like mushrooms, like marijuana versus man-made drugs, synthetic Tylenols, Advils, cocaine. The drugs that really have to go through process. Um, and I've said, like I said, I've seen a lot of literature or seen a lot of documentary, read a lot of literature on shrooms, and they do have medicinal psychedelic effects. They open up parts of the brain, like they've measured that they open up parts of the brain that you normally can't even tap into. So, I mean, sure. I think the heading that you led with was a little bit of clickbait. I was really here to hear more about Jaden and his mama, but then you went down this
Well,
psychedelic journey with us. You
I was
clickbaited
I
me,
was
but
It's
that's
I was
cool.
gonna wrap
this
it
is a
up. I was gonna
psychedelic
wrap it
journey,
up
honey.
to say what Jada said herself. Well, basically, she said that she was struggling with depression, and she was introduced to psychedelics 10 years ago. She was struggling with depression really badly, and the reason that she found out why she was struggling with depression and how to get over it was because she was using psychedelics. And she says that apparently that is what helps everyone that was something that could help everyone who suffers from mental illness.
Why does it seem
And
like it's always going on at the wheel at the Smith home? Like,
Okay, well, I personally am not gonna like take hallucinogens to get over my depression. That's not how this works. I mean, maybe if you have like you know, if you have riches beyond generations, then maybe yes, psychedelics will help. However, speaking from like a parent's point of view, I would say, I guess it would be better to do the drugs with my child than to have them out there doing the drugs with anybody else. I'm just saying, at least I know we will be in a controlled environment. We will be together, and if anything happens, worst case scenario, I could be there for my kid.
my question is, who tried
that's
it
what happened
first?
after.
Who tried it first?
I don't know who
No,
tried
it
it
should always be
first.
the mom first. If you're doing drugs with your
I don't
kid,
think
you
who
always
tried
do
it
the drugs
first.
first, and then you let your kid do it after.
But Jaden said he started using it out of curiosity, and doing so led to his understanding of what ego was, apparently for the first time. And it was always in my head talking, telling me what I was and what I wasn't, and sharing that he experienced ego dissolution for the first time, an ecstatic state in which self-identify is completely lost. Excuse me, self-identity is completely lost.
Hmm.
Yeah. And he
Yeah,
said
I
that,
mean, and
we
so
had
that's what I
mental
mean.
breakthrough, I guess.
I think it could help, right? Because again, it's unlocking parts or truths that we probably don't have tap into, and all of this. You know, anybody that smoked some good ganja has sat down and with your girlfriend that had a real in depth conversation where you was like, and it really, and you play it back, it do make sense. You know what I'm saying? And you probably wouldn't have tapped into that as your sober self because your sober self is so conscious and conservative and
Hmm.
thinking through processes in a very logical way, so kind of like to free yourself up to open up in that kind of like spacey way. I could see the therapeutic powers in it. I'd just be scared, bitch.
Has anyone in the comments, anyone that's watching, has anyone has ever tried, and
Shrooms.
it's fine
I'm
fine with
interested.
disclosing, and if anyone on the cast ever tried and it's fine with disclosing?
But you do know a
I
lot
have
of drugs that we
never.
do started out like medicinal uses or tests. Like that's how we got MDMA. That's how we got crack cocaine. That's how we got like all of these drugs. Like doctors and stuff were coming up with these ways first.
Yeah,
Next
I
subject.
never tried mushrooms. I'm so sorry.
So from that comment, do you think the red table talk is helpful, or do you think it seemed like it's like a contradiction? It seems like it's always something happening in the Smith home, but
I feel like it's a
they
pot.
they always want to talk out different topics about other things. Or am I?
Yeah, I feel like it's a pot that occasionally the family just each had a spoon and then they were stirring and stirring and stirring themselves. And then they figured like, well, like, occasionally this is a talk show, so let's bring other people here to stir their pot as well. And
They want to put that on us.
they literally take someone and force their hand to the pot and dip it in there and make them stir. And
See,
yeah.
I felt like it was one of those kind of things where it hits the nail randomly when it makes sense to have the topic or the show. Like when it at first when it was coming out, when it felt real organic, like they were having real issues that was happening in pop culture and around, so they were talking about relevant stuff. It felt different. It was one thing, but then when
Mhm.
almost became like this engine that they have to feed and they have to come up with topics every week and all this, it felt more. So now you got to force the narrative, right? It's no longer authentic or organic. Now you need to keep feeding the beast because now you created this thing, and so now it's not as as to me it's not as I used to enjoy it when it first came out. I thought they had some really good gems and
When it
stuff
first
like
came out.
that.
Yeah.
I thought there were
That's
some really
cute.
good gems, some good shows happening and stuff like that. But I think with
I was
anything
there
when
for
you
Cammy.
I think anything too. That's because we still had a certain. We probably still a lot of us still had a certain feel about Jada in our mind. We had a certain feel about Will. We had a certain feel about, and anytime you let someone into your life that repetitively, that frequently, you start to unpack and see them in different ways. You
Right.
start to see parts of them that you may have glossed over before. So now we're starting to see a lot of problematic ways of
Hmm.
Jada's and her very predatory ways with different kind of young men and stuff like that. So now we're having to think about that. We're wondering about her and Will's relationship, and now you have the mother and the father, the mother and the son doing the drugs together. It's just a little too intimate for too long.
I think
Um,
also too from the Kardashian affair. I also think with the August affair where Jada, it kind of like the table kind of started turning left.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of started like, I'm put this out, so now let's find other ways to dish our tea, but let's have other people, in the midst too, so it won't pinpoint on us so bad.
And
Yeah,
let it
I
became
liked
a
it in the
vibe.
beginning when it was more like, black generational trauma. How do we address that? How do we discuss patriarchy, black feminine patriarchy and misogyny? And then it just became
That's
goo.
right.
Y'all
It went
stirring
from
the tea or
goulash to
grit?
goop. To Morgan's point, it went from goulash to goop.
To
At first, she
stern the
stirred.
grit, to stern the grit.
They wanted to make a
Come
stern
on.
fondue, bitch, and they gave fondue.
Well, speaking of like stirring the pot and like being in some hot grease and some hot oil, Travis Scott is like really, really, really in some hot water. Okay. But before we get into him, I
And
have a
we did
clip.
not get goosebumps, bitch.
Before we get to him, I have a clip of him, pretty much trying to apologize and explain. We're gonna get like a review of how you guys feel about it, how you ladies and gentlemen feel about his apology or whatever he's talking about. Let's
Don't
The
make me
ones that
talk
was
shit.
lost last night. We're actually working right now to identify the families so we can help assist them through this tough time. My fans really mean the world to me, and I always just really want to leave them with a positive experience. And anytime I can make out, anything that's going on, I stop the show and, help them get the help they need, I could just never imagine the severity of the situation. We've been working closely. We've been working closely with everyone to just try to get to the bottom of this. The city of Houston, HPD, fire department. Everyone to, help us figure this out. So if you have any information, um, you know.
anybody got any
I don't
information?
understand how he could say he could never imagine. I watched the footage. I watched the whole concert. There were other artists, even Drake performed after the fact of them carrying other dead bodies. He literally was sitting on stage, programmed, singing his song, and they were literally lifting up a 14-year-old passed out. So I understand that you were probably forced and your publisher told you to say whatever you said. I mean, an apology is an apology, but I don't think it. I think he was more so devastated. That's not like a real response that we would have. I'm not expecting for you to give me tears, but the fact, like, imagine if you were in that, if this was your concert, and you literally are seeing people, and you know the vibes. If you're such in the music industry, and you all know the spirits, and you know the energy, and you know the good, and you know the bad, you mean to tell me that you're literally sitting on stage and you're having your microphone and it's people that are watching you sing your song into interlude and they're carrying bodies? I'm too sexy to die.
Yeah, Tiana Taylor just recently had a concert and she gave maybe I'm not giving that. So y'all all right? And then she went
It's
on.
given very much. You're a washed up ass fucking ASAP Rocky, anyways.
Oh, calm down.
Um,
Yeah, I said it. Long live ASAP.
I
Girl,
feel like I don't know. This is one of those really awkward
Long live ASAP.
positions for,
Facts.
for me where it's like,
facts,
number
Jada.
one, I think watching anyone get stumbled, killed, and injured, I don't ever want to like diminish how someone may be having to deal with that, knowing that they were involved. This to me feels like it's going to be kind of like the Brandy in the car accident all over again. He's going to have to live with this, and people are going to eventually make
The
a joke out of it.
devastation.
No, people are gonna make a joke out of it. It's gonna become this thing, this kind of like
Mm-hmm.
meme. If y'all been around for a decade, y'all know this whole branding, the car accident thing. It started out as something serious, much like this, where people are like, "Oh my God, someone's dead, someone's injured." Like you're responsible. How you're accountable, and then years later, it's still this thing. And so I feel bad for him on that instance. I also feel like it's weird that he's like the center of accountability for some of this. Like, what were 14-year-olds and 8-year-olds doing there? Like the same thing we were saying up there about saying about like Rittenhouse's parents should be in jail too. I mean, I think the parents of this 14-year-old and the parent of the 8-year-old should also be in jail. What was your like? This is this is a festival. We know what festivals are. It's not even a regular concert, it's a festival, right? And I also, me, I always see things from a race slant. you know I think that because this is a black festival, there's going to be more accountability being expected to be held than if it was a white festival. When it's out in the, what is that thing they have in the desert every year? People pass out and die out there every year. What is it, Coachella? People pass out and die out there every year, get injured, all kind of shit. But it's like this big white festival in the middle of the, so the artists are never really held accountable for it. The venues take care of it, whatever the case may be. But with this being a black man and a black artist, I feel like he
Well,
needs to be made an
I
example
think I
of.
think he is accountable because it's his festival.
It is.
It's led by
And he
him.
And there
encourages
were
he
also
No,
people
the
saying that
but
it
he
see,
was so
encourages
hot that
that
it was like
behavior from his
hell.
fans.
but
He
there's but
encourages
no,
that
but
behavior from his
yeah,
fans
but
as
mosh
well.
pits and things like that have been encouraged by white rock stars forever.
It's not
He's a
about that.
black
He
rocker.
encouraged his fans. He encouraged people to bombard and break in if they can't get in because the ticket is the concert is sold out and they don't have tickets. So they can
But see, but
bombard
All right,
people,
but
also as
break
well,
shit, and come in.
cast members stuff. Mash pits don't happen like this every day, so I do
and it shouldn't be
understand
And this
the
is
happening
not.
in
impact
I'm
that it
pretty sure
does
a
this is
have
not
on
festival
the
a mash
artist.
auditorium.
pit.
But when you're
It's a
seeing a
concert
fucking
festival.
body
There should
getting
not be a
carried,
mosh pit.
I'm not singing, bitch.
No, and that's the thing too. Is for me at least, it's different than the legal judgment or the people are trying to pass on him versus like the moral compass of it. My moral compass of it is, oh my God, you're just so fucking disgusting, right? Like you saw people getting injured and being troubled and being taken off, and you're still singing, right? Like as a human, how do you allow that to happen? At the same time, the side of me that's still about justice and protecting black bodies from unequal justice systems and things of that nature. We still live in a country today that's still trying to decide on whether or not to really, really go through and prosecute for the insurrection on the actual country. But they're gonna make sure they prosecute this black man. You know what I'm saying? It's just we're just not. Or you
Okay,
have the shoot.
okay,
You
I
see what I'm saying? It's
understand.
just
I,
like
yeah,
I actually
I
literally
understand.
saw on the Facebook and the memes some of the same people that I've seen, like I got white friends and Republicans, that are like no, and saying their own Rittenhouse, and they're like, oh my God, he was a young kid, forgive him. But you want to forgive Rittenhouse and fall for his 17-year-old tears when he actually took out a gun and actively chose to shoot someone. But you want to like crucify and grab this young man over the coals who was singing, right? The people who caused
Okay.
the mosh pit, ultimately that's still on them, right? He didn't push
Yes, yes, it
anybody.
is.
He
It is.
didn't
It
he
is.
didn't push anybody with a tool or
Yeah,
anything.
we're
They
not
still
putting the blame on
actively,
him. It's just
right,
the
they still
awareness.
actively made the decisions to storm and to do all of those things. So hold them accountable. But like, it's just, I don't know. It just mm, I don't know. Something just always feels icky about shit
Everybody
But
like
once
should be
they
this.
held
said that it was
accountable.
like at least
The
300
promoters for
people,
the event,
like
Live Nation, they're
ramshacked,
all
like that
getting
didn't have
sued.
any tickets, that it was over with. Like people paid over $300 for their tickets, and there was people who didn't give a fuck about not like having a ticket, and that's kind of what caused it more because it was rebellions there.
Right.
I'm just speaking out of concern because I'm a parent and I'm passionate, and I just know at the end of the day, and I know what it's like to perform. It's not easy to be on stage with a microphone and do what you
You know.
do, but to see that would be devastating to me. And if it was me, I would have stopped, but it wasn't me. So I'm not going to put all the blame on Travis. But, let's bring ASAP Rocky back. Next comment.
Artists just should not at all in any type of way encourage any type of wild, aggressive behavior to the point of
It
where
goes back
people
to the
are doing
Woodstock, though, sis. This is
anything
music
like
history.
that. But you're encouraging literally people to break safety guidelines. No, that out of control. out of control.
There's like
And
Yeah.
again, and
Out of
I
control.
agree on
And
like a
it's still a
moral.
pandemic.
My
Come on.
my biggest question is why at a over 100,000 seated auditorium with more people over capacity are we mosh pitting? Are we not following these safety instructions? Do y'all not see like I don't know. Me
Nobody
personally,
is.
as a performer and as a person that will be on stage, I can't see a world where I don't stop what I'm doing to acknowledge what's going on. Like,
Yeah,
I
chaos
don't
is
care how much
happening.
money I've made over this night. I don't care how much of my background team or producers or managers, whatever, they're gonna be mad. But people are like literally 8 people were injured.
We're carried.
Three of them died. That is ridiculous. That's like,
Yeah.
come on. This is not a time. This is first of all, COVID is still here. I'm sorry. We are not. We should
Yes.
not be
And it
mosh
was
pitting
no
at a
social
time like this.
distancing.
It was no social distancing. It was no masks. It was no gloves. It was no hand
We just left a
sanitizer.
ball this past weekend where there was no social distancing, no masks, no gloves.
Well, I was with my whatchamacallits, with my hand sanitizers and
Right, but I
everything.
mean,
So,
yes, singleton people, yes,
but
but
that's also true. That's also
collectively as an
true.
event, it was a
The
cesspool.
It
same
was a
difference.
pay.
Is
and
the same difference.
going to
It is the
sending
same difference.
comments as
However,
well.
we're not mosh pitting with
Well,
10
rest
to
in peace
12
to the
people
victims.
all
Well,
like
I wouldn't.
rest in peace to the victims and
I
condolences
would
to the
beg to I would
families.
beg to differ, Jada. We don't give necessarily a mosh pit, but when our girlfriends are going up, we kind of give a mosh pit kind of effect, like crowd the runway, crowd this the stage,
Yeah.
and it's not 6 feet.
And didn't we also just say that at this past ball was it 3 or 5 fights happened at our ball? Yeah, no one. But we've
I
had
think the
balls where
number
people
was
have pulled
6.
guns out of bags, right? So to Kano's point, making it relatable, you know what I'm saying? And that's why, with that being said, I don't want to just say, and like I feel like especially the media is doing, is making this all a
Uh-huh.
on him thing, right? Because we all participate in
Putting it on
stuff like
him.
this, where it's like, no, we help, we share the accountability, we hold everyone equally accountable. Like I really was seeing, white people on a post going in about this 8-year-old child. Oh my God, a 14-year-old child was trampled. He should be held accountable for that. How dare you keep saying when that's happening? And I'm like, but what about the mama and the daddy that brought the 8-year-old baby to the thing?
Right.
But
Everybody
y'all so
involved needs
quick
to
to
be
just
held
want to bury
accountable.
this man for people's decisions.
No, see, it's not even about him because his response. Honestly, as a person standing on stage, you can only do but so much. I mean, you can only literally stop the function and call and bring attention to the whatchamacallit. It's not like he can actually jump out into the crowd and perform CPR himself. I
I know
don't
what
put
it is,
blame on
Jada.
him. I feel that the parents, first of all, there should 14, 18, 16. These are the years that we were going to these concerts and we were going to these places and we were trying to get out and we were trying to experience our lives. However, this is a different time and a different life. And there's a time for appropriation and a time for information and a time for everything really just being knowing when this is safe for your child to go to or not. They should have made that decision from right. And if those kids snuck out and went anyway, then whose fault is that? Do we still blame the parents because they don't lock their kids up, or do we
Well,
say
You know
Or
what
do
I
we
think?
well,
You know what I think they wanted, Gillette?
they said that the
Y'all,
8-year-old child they was there with his father, and he was on his father's shoulders. You know how your dad sits on your shoulders, but from the commotion and pushing, the child got pushed into the mosh pit and got like stampede upon.
Trampled
you know what
over.
I
And
think
the
they wanted,
father fell
Gillette?
out and passed out.
I think
Yeah.
y'all all remember the Como Le Flor scene from Selena's when the people was being pushed up against the fence and stuff,
Laura,
and she took the mic and she was like,
I remember that from the movie.
she said, "Hello."
I think all these gay ass queens, I think all of us done seen that movie, and we wanted him to do a Como Le Flor moment. Bitch, he a rapper. He was
I
like, turn up,
did. I
bitch,
did. I
turn
did.
up.
And they got
Y'all
Selena on
lit.
Netflix.
Like y'all lit. Oh, y'all brought y'all kids. They about to get fucked up in my concert. Spark up. Let's go. Y'all wanted him to Como La Florida and shit. He wasn't gonna Como La Florida nothing. He said Como La
Come on
Blunt.
the
He said
floor.
Como La
Come
Blunt,
on, boy,
bitch.
Well,
boy.
my hearts go out to the families,
But
and
yes.
my heart goes out to the 8-year-old that's still fighting for his life in the hospital. Um, at the end of the
Yes.
day, I do agree with Gunna. Like they don't they somewhat do have control, but they don't have control of other people. Like running to the front. Me myself at concerts, I have ran to the front before. I've been in the front. So all he has to do, But I agree. My heart goes out to the families.
Yes.
And we'll just keep following this story and see what happens with Travis
Yeah.
and
And
the.
heart go out to him too. Again, this isn't like he picked up a gun and tried to murder someone, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
Yeah,
whether he
yeah,
could have
yeah.
stopped it or
it's not
not,
like
I
Tyler.
think
Our
this
heart
is
goes out to you. Mm.
whether he could have stopped it or not. This is something he's gonna have to live with, feeling partially responsible for the rest of his life. And I wouldn't wish that on nobody, especially when it's not something you intended. You know what I'm saying? Go
Well,
ahead.
he's paying for funeral expenses for the persons that passed away, and he's issuing refunds to everyone that attended the event.
The absolute least he could do.
Bitch, I get those goosebumps every time.
TK, I see you just came. I gave you a whole 1-2 sugar maru in the middle of the live. You may have to go back, but once again, I do apologize to you. But yeah, TK said what? Oh, let me see my daughter's-
Take my daughter to such a large crowd, especially during COVID
What happened? Oh my god, I just really blinked out, y'all. My bad.
Oh, TK's comment was, "I'll never take my daughter to large crowds, especially during COVID time."
I mean, and someone else had mentioned about ballroom and bringing underage kids. One of my gay kids had asked me to do some commentary on this and what I thought about it with the young 8-year old. I think they're talking, in particular, they're talking about this 8-year old. I've seen articles about an 8-year old and a 14-year old. And my thing was just, and he was like, how does this relate to like ballroom? And my thing is, I've always said this even about ballroom concerts. There are some things to me that are just adult venues and adult events, and children like just shouldn't be in those venues. Um,
Unless they're
If it's not a
chaperones.
cheetah girl,
even if they're For me,
if it's
even if
not
they're
cheetah girls
chaperones,
or a
you
back in the
know,
day High School Musical or Hannah Montana from back in the days, then the child's don't need to be there.
Because
yeah,
it's
because I
not
feel like
Powerpuff Girls.
and it's not even necessarily that something that the kids shouldn't participate in could be happening, right? It's like this is an adult event and we want to provide all adults the free space to not have to worry about kids, right? When I'm at a ball, I don't want to watch my language. You know what I'm saying? Because some kids may be there. I want to show respect to someone's elderly grandmother. I want to bitch, hey girl, what's the T big fuck? All that without thinking about that. But when I go to, if I'm at an elementary school, right, I'm going to watch my language the entire time I'm there because I know I'm in the presence or a venue where children are at, right?
A
So it's not
minor.
about either one of them being something that I want to do that's salacious or bad. It's just certain things. Like I know I grew up knowing there was a kiddie table. It's not even that the adults were
Mhm.
talking about something that they wouldn't talk about
I
with
knew about
us,
child's
but it was like
play.
the kids know you go be with the kids. This is the adult table. The
I was
adults are
gonna
here
pick.
playing cards. You go play on the swing set. It was just a separation of spaces when I was growing up, and I feel like now we don't have that. Like every venue's for everybody, and it's like that's crazy.
I was gonna piggyback that. I was gonna say that when I was young, the one concert that we went to was Summer Jam. If it wasn't Bow Wow, Chris Brown, and Cherish them, then we wasn't there. I don't know why. I understand that we listened to these music because we wasn't supposed to. However, it's not that serious for a kid to be at a festival concert
At a
I'm
festival.
not a
I
festival.
agree.
at such
I
a young
agree.
age. No. It was Summer Jam or nothing. Like Summer Jam or
Yeah,
nothing.
Summer Jam was my hit. Green
Mm-hmm.
Pearl, 102 Jams. You ate that.
Bow Wow or Marion when it was B2K. Yeah.
Okay.
Moment.
But yeah, so like I said, we're gonna follow
Ooh,
the
shit.
story and see what happens with Travis.
Oh, that's shaking.
And the tea time and the tea sippers, our hearts go out to them and the families that they were lost. So our hearts up. All right. So normally we always give you all a 2-hour show, but we're not doing that tonight. Like we just got back from Virginia. Some of our girls is giving like let us get our beauty rest. To get the skin rejuvenated. So we can be ready for you Sunday. But We want to give a shout out to Missy Elliott, the one and only, for getting her star.
Video Vanguard winner.
Work it! I need a glass of water. Boy, oh
Yes,
boy,
I
it's
feel
good
like
to
Missy
know
is
ya.
one of the illest lyrics out, one of the dopest rap women out. She's a
Can I
queen.
just say that it's
I mean, she's a
always been my
girl.
like? Can I just say that it's always been my life's dream and fantasy to like to dance in a Missy Elliott video. I don't give a. I've learned every dance from
Same.
Get Your Freak On to Gossip Folks to Lose
Same.
Control. I know all the routines from front to back, side to side. Even where they from, even bring it back or run it back. That's how much I love the body of work that Missy Elliott has done. Because every time, it's always a full production. It's always next level. The fashion's always there. The looks are always definitely there. Everybody, every dancer is always killing it with their mug faces and they're in their full costume, their strings, they're flying here and everywhere. It's Missy Elliott. How could you not? Congratulations to Missy Elliott on your star. That should have been that should have been a thing. That should have been a
A
thing.
lot of people don't get stars though, have stars though, and also don't want them.
Part of that is because you got to pay for it, but we'll talk about that at another time.
Hmm.
She's the original queen of being an original talent, originality, not having to diss anybody to get her point across. It was really about the music and her artistry. It wasn't about her relationships because or sexuality. It was really about the music and the art and the fashion. I lived for it as a kid. I lived for watching. It's like Missy's like, if you're from the '90s, she's like a big sister to us. It's like when she lost Aaliyah, we lost her with her. You know,
Hmm.
um, I really can't speak much. I just have so much love for her, and we don't got time for all of that. But we love you, Missy. Keep doing your thing. Super duper fly.
Yes.
And also,
Congratulations,
no funny,
Missy.
like even like she's also like you know how like artists, especially in like the 2000s and the 90s, they had a way of like altering our generation and
Hmm.
giving us the knowledge that we needed. And one thing that
And the
Missy was always
creativity.
big on was
Hmm.
creativity and talent. Like it doesn't, little girls, little black girls, little white girls given the opportunity on show, on stage. That meant so much for somebody. Like when I was young and I was seeing them dance on them shows, I was like, wow, I'm a young kid, I could do it too. Like I could be in a video. Like what the
Like her
Hmm.
little white girl that she used to have in
Me
her
and
little
Jada
videos
wasn't
and
saying
stuff.
while we
yes,
was saying toe chop.
little Sally. I loved her. I love her so bad.
Yeah, she's Video Vanguard.
It's your from
Wh-
yeah.
when she got her Video Vanguard, it's one of those things to me, and I always relate like ballroom and the way that we do status and demons and stuff to kind of like how they do in Hollywood and stuff like that. And sometimes you get those ones that just make sense. Like when you think about Vanguard, you think about Pioneers, you think about people who transform and create and introduce fashion and art in a way such that people will reference it for decades to come and still use it as a source of inspiration. She could drop almost any one of her videos today
Yes.
and they would still be on trend,
It
in
was still hit.
time, still hit, still making sense. It would still be transformative in terms of production value and everything. It was just is a true visionary.
Yes.
I
Shout
agree,
out.
and I
Can I
also
spill
think
some
they
tea
took
before
too
we get to the
long
next
to give
topic?
it to her,
It's
and
still
it
about
was
the next.
fucking
It's still about
disrespectful
me.
to give it to her after J Lo.
You said what?
Sorry.
It did take
I
a
said I took too long
yeah.
for them to give it to her, and it was fucking disrespectful for them to give it to her after they gave it to J Lo.
Oh, okay, yeah, I agree. I thought I thought you said something.
Okay.
You never do Selena.
Not Jenny from the Block and Katy
Well,
Perry
they
got her
gave
before
Jay Z.
Missy
They gave
Elliott.
Jay Z his Hall of Fame last week.
Jay Z
Not
did get his Hall of
So
Fame.
the
Katy
Yes,
Rock and
Perry
Roll Hall of Fame.
and Jenny Lopez. Not Jenny from
Come
the
on,
Block.
that's
come
Ashanti.
on.
J Lo.
Anyway,
Oh my.
anywho, anywho.
That's Ashanti.
Um, also
Jennifer
before we go,
Lopez.
shout out to Will Smith. Will Smith has had a book presentation, and he has a book that's out and it's entitled Will. If you haven't look, checked it out. Do your little research. Go on Amazon. It's on Amazon. It's for sale, but it was like a dope. So go, what girl? What? Or go to your nearest Barnes and Nobles and grab Will Smith's book entitled Will. I'm curious to see what it's about. So I think
I
that
would like
Too.
to add
Good
to
luck.
that. Janet Hubert, if anyone knows, he and Janet Hubert is what we call the brown skin or the dark skin mom from Fresh Prince of Bel Air. They had a 20+ year
Viv.
issue. Yeah, Aunt Viv. She's the dark skin Aunt Viv. They had like a 20 year thing. And it's also being reported that at the book his book presentation, she was there, and she credits him with parts of her, healing, and he credits her with parts of his healing. So that was great to see that they've even continued to heal since they did that special. So
How
shout
about,
out to Will.
I have an idea. How about we all get the book and we read it and we like discuss it, or you guys
We can
don't?
do
I
that.
think
Or
yes.
you all
I
not
think that's
interested?
exactly
Morgan,
what
I
we
saw
should
the
do.
eye roll. You don't have to read it, Morgan.
I'll read
No,
the summer.
listen. Will Smith
Right,
is
I'll
Will
one
read
of my
Smith.
summer.
favorite
It's
actors.
Will
No
Smith.
No,
shade.
no,
I feel
August
like that is going to be
Alsina.
trauma. And I don't know if I have it for that. No
But let's
shade. I
do
feel like that's
it.
a Summer Walker album. Like, whoa. No
I
shade.
feel like
What you trying to
you know
say,
what though.
Morgan? I
As
think you
much
want
as
to get your mic muted.
I kind of want to
Turn
read
them
it,
grits.
because I want to see what he has to say. Because Jada's
Yeah,
been very talkative about their relationship a lot lately. I want to see
Free
if he gives
will.
any of his
I'm
sides
gonna
of the
get it.
story.
I'm gonna get
Because
it.
her side is very bitch. I'm Jada. It's
I
my
want to
pussy.
know
I
the
do what I
truth
want.
too.
Ha!
I want to
I'm a
know
big
the
girl
truth.
now.
But the gag is he is from Philly, so it just might gag your ass.
If
So,
I
Glenn,
read
are you
that
Because
gonna
you
book
get
know
and
it?
we
I get
take
to the
all
end
day
and
to get Philly
I'm
cheesesteak.
disappointed, I'm gonna be pissed.
Okay, hold on, hold on. Gunna, are you gonna get it?
I'll get it.
Jada, are you gonna get it?
I'll go on Amazon. Where's my phone? I'll do it right now.
Yes,
Actually,
sure. I'll get the book. We're
Sasha, are
gonna
you
get the
gonna get
book
it?
and we're gonna read it. But I'm only gonna
Yeah,
read like
let's all get it.
I'm gonna do like the encyclo read. I'm gonna like
Okay, we
read
can get
most
it.
of it and not read all of it
So what
because
we're
to
gonna
be
do is
honest,
we're gonna read the book and we're gonna probably read like 2 chapters by each episode, and we're gonna call it Will segment, and we'll just discuss it for like 15 minutes or whatever what we read and how we feel. Shout out to
sure.
Will. Also, he's in the movie
What's the
King
book
King
called?
Richard
Richard.
on HBO Max. I cannot wait to see that. It's a story about
That's
Venus
also
and Serena.
that I also have a question about that. Why make the movie about the father of Venus and Serena Williams when Venus and Serena Williams are the
Let's talk about that on Sunday.
okay?
Hmm.
So Sunday
Wait,
that'll
can
be
we?
one of our topics. We'll talk about the King Richard with Will Smith. But let's let him have his moment of having his book presentation. I think King Richard's gonna be really good. Gonna just now purchase his, and I'm about to purchase mine as soon as we get off. You know what? Since it's a feeling it moment.
Oh, he placed his order as soon as possible. Err,
So we
right
purchase
here.
mine.
right here. It's giving Gillette's book club.
I do like the cover art. It is very
Come
cute.
on, Kano.
I
Kano gonna
live
join us
for it.
too.
Yes,
I do love the '90s art work.
and the book released December 14th. So if you go ahead and pre-order it, you'll be getting your book in December. But
It says November 9th.
wait a minute.
It came out already.
Yeah, I'm gonna get mine on the 12th.
Oh, here we go. I get mine on the 12th. I'm sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. My love, I get it on the 12th. If you also watching in the comments, and if you want to join in on Will's segment, you can purchase the book, and we'll have a Q&A and see how it goes. But we'll be back on Sunday. If anybody else have anything to say, it's a great show tonight. How y'all felt?
I feel good. It feels good to be back. It's ball season.
I feel hungry.
Gillette.
Y'all kept talking about stirring grits. You know,
That's Morgan. I think
I'm
Morgan's
trying to
been
get a
over
little
there
liquor before
on her
ball drop
hoodoo.
for 2020. I'm trying to be two.
You better stir them
Um,
grits.
I'm already tired because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the end of this month, going into the month of December, is a very busy ball schedule. Um,
It's my birthday month.
it's your birthday month. It's my travel back south
Literally.
month. I go south, sis, at this time of year. Um,
That's what
but it's a
happened.
lot.
That's what happened with Baltimore.
Hold on, bitch. But yeah, it's just, it's cool.
All right.
It's a lot of balls. I'll be in Philly in December. Oh, but we
Yes,
don't get
there's a lot of balls coming up. There's
a
a
lot of
ball
balls.
in 2 weeks. I mean, well, the next week, the trans remembrance ball that's going to
Like
be
the birds.
The
Yep, the
19th.
trans remembrance
all.
ball.
There's a Kiki ball, the groovy ball that's happening next week as well. And then we have World AIDS Day coming up,
World AIDS Day ball. Yes.
December 1st.
That's
So
gonna be a cute ball at LeBain.
yes, we have a lot coming up. So girls, get ready.
Work LaBane.
Girls get ready.
Yeah, so this was a great show tonight. I appreciate my cast being here. Thank you to the new icon, Bugs Godfather, Orichi. Thank you, Jeremy, for coming up as well. The VA King, the VA father of Revlon. And thank you to my cast. Y'all look
Yes.
lovely tonight. And Jada, the girls thought this was your house, girl.
And thank you to all those who joined us for this segment that are in the comments, that are leaving comments. Thank you for joining us twice a week for the last 3 weeks. Please share, spread the word. If you have topics
We
you want us to
thank
talk about, you can inbox any of us. We try to stay current on current topics, so let us know if you get some juicy tea. We're not a messy tea set, but we like a good tea. We like a good tea, so you can send it to any one of us. Yeah, thank you guys again. And I love being here with you ladies. Thank you guys for having me and respecting my feminine, masculine energy as Eve, the pit bull in a skirt, also known as the icon Gunner.
All right, you all.
Come on, cause it's Eve's birthday too. Happy birthday, Eve.
Yes, happy birthday,
Who?
Eve.
Thank you.
Woo,
All
woo.
right,
Happy
good night.
Eve.
birthday. Oh, happy birthday. I didn't know that.
Happy birthday. Yes, thank you all so much. And don't forget to go out and cop Summer Walker, Still Over It. The album is fab. Y'all have a good night. Let me leave y'all with Summer.